Today we are going to explore something truly profound. We're looking at the idea that we are standing on the edge of one of the most significant transformations in all of human history. And our focus, our lens, is the year 2026, which, according to some really deep astrological interpretations, isn't just another year. It's a potential turning point for our entire civilization. So let's get into why that might be.
Okay, let's just sit with that statement for a moment. It's a massive claim, I know, but it's a claim rooted in observing vast cosmic cycles that have been unfolding for thousands of years. The thinking here is that 2026 could kick off this incredible accelerated evolution of our consciousness, a time when humanity really starts to see itself and its place in the universe in a completely different light. But how do you even make a prediction like that? Well, to really get the what, we first have to understand the how. We need to understand the framework used to read these cosmic events.
So before we can really unpack the specifics of what makes 2026 so special, we have to get a handle on the language being used to interpret all these cosmic patterns. And what we're talking about here, it isn't a belief system you have to subscribe to. It's much more like learning a new form of literacy, a way of reading the cycles and patterns that have always influenced our world.
Right. So when we say astrology here, let's be clear, we are not talking about your daily newspaper horoscope. Not at all. Think of it as a symbolic language, a sacred geometry. It has its own vocabulary, the planets, right? Each one represents a different archetypal energy. Mars is our drive, our action. Venus is harmony, what we value. And it has its own grammar. These are the geometric angles, the aspects between the planets. And that grammar tells us how these different energies are interacting. It's really a system for mapping the potential energies that are at play, both inside us and in the wider world.
And you know, this whole idea of a cosmic language, it's not new, it's ancient. So many cultures from our deep past seem to live in this profound alignment with the stars. The Great Pyramids of Giza are, well, a perfect example. Their layout on the ground is a mirror image of the 3 stars in Orion's belt. The precision is just staggering. What this tells us is that for our ancestors, the sky wasn't just some random collection of pretty lights. No, it was a map, full of meaning. And they encoded their wisdom not just in words, which can be lost or mistranslated, but in stone, aligned with the universal language of the cosmos. It's a connection we're only now starting to rediscover. Okay, so how does this ancient language, this cosmic map, apply to our world right now? Well, the astrological patterns that are leading us into 2026 are being interpreted as signaling a great unraveling, an accelerated dissolution of the old, rigid structures that have defined our world. And look, the idea here isn't chaos just for the sake of it. It's seen as a necessary clearing of the ground to make way for something completely new to be built.
One of the biggest cycles to watch is the Saturn-Neptune cycle. Now, a conjunction is just when 2 planets line up in the sky from our view here on Earth and their energies blend. Saturn, that's the planet of structure, of order, of karma. And Neptune represents illusion, but also disillusion and deep spirituality. So when these two get together, which happens about every 36 years, we often see a dissolving of old structures. And just look at this timeline, especially in relation to Russia. 1917, the Russian Revolution. 36 years later, 1953, the death of Stalin. 36 years after that, 1989, the fall of the Berlin Wall. You see the pattern? This recurring theme is why astrologers are looking at their next meeting in 2026 as a sign of another profound redefinition.
But the conjunction in 2026 is seen as something else entirely. It's exceptionally powerful. And it's not just about when it happens, but where. It happens at 0 degrees of Aries. Now you have to understand the zodiac is a 360-degree circle, and it starts at 0 degrees of Aries. It is the absolute #1 starting point. It's like the first second of the first minute of New Year's Day. A conjunction happening at this exact point is incredibly rare. In fact, the last time it happened was nearly 6,000 years ago. So this suggests this isn't just another turn of the cycle. This has the potential for a complete and total reset, the birthing of a fundamentally new order for humanity.
But here's the beautiful part. This isn't just a story about things falling apart. As the old world dissolves, something new is said to be emerging. The energy of 2026 is also being read as this powerful, unprecedented wave of creation. And the source material describes this as nothing less than the potential to birth a new type of society. The alignments pointing to this are, well, they're breathtakingly rare.
And it all kicks off on that same pivotal day, February 20th. Because at the exact same moment that Saturn-Neptune conjunction is working to dissolve the old, its position at the zodiac's ultimate starting point is simultaneously planting the seeds for a brand new beginning for civilization.
And again, I just want to emphasize this. The sheer rarity of this energetic signature is what gives it such immense power. We haven't seen this on Earth for almost 6 millennia.
That's what marks this as a true Genesis moment, a genuine new beginning for humanity. Then, things get even more intense. As we move into the spring of 2026, the energy just amplifies. By April, we see a concentration of planetary energy that is just extraordinary.
Get this, a staggering 8 celestial bodies will all be clustered in the sign of Aries, the sign of fire, of raw ignition, of pure, unadulterated new beginnings. This is described as a totally off-the-map astrological moment. It's like the cosmos is taking a giant magnifying glass and focusing a massive wave of energy on one single theme: start something new.
And if you think that's a lot, just wait. The middle of the year brings what you could call the peak of this whole cosmic crescendo. By July, a planetary configuration emerges that is said to be completely unprecedented in all of recorded history.
Around the middle of July, 3 of the most powerful outer planets, the ones that signal deep, generational shifts, are going to form a perfect, harmonious triangle in the sky. It's called a grand trine, a pattern of supreme flow and ease. And we'll have Uranus, the planet of revolution and quantum leaps, Pluto, the planet of deep transformation and rebirth, and Neptune, the planet of spirituality and unity. This specific formation is one that astrologers can find no prior record of, ever. It's seen as the blossoming of seeds that were planted during other pivotal moments in our recent history.
So what were those seeds? Well, think about it. The Uranus-Pluto conjunction of the 1960s sparked a massive cultural revolution around peace, love, and equality. The Neptune-Pluto conjunction back in the 1890s coincided with the birth of quantum physics, completely shattering our old ideas about reality. And the Uranus-Neptune conjunction of 1993, that gave us the World Wide Web, revolutionizing global communication. The 2026 alignment is seen as the culmination of all these themes: innovation, transformation, and interconnectedness. It could potentially open the door to a new reality, one with a much greater emphasis on collective consciousness, and maybe even new forms of energy and telepathic communication.
So this is the most crucial point of all. We have all this cosmic energy available for both dissolution and creation. So how do we navigate it? What do we do? Well, the answer, according to this perspective, is that this is not a spectator sport. Our conscious participation is the key factor that will determine what kind of experience we have.
The source material talks about this as a potential split in our experience. Now, this isn't a physical separation, but an energetic one. It's based on where we put our individual and our collective focus. You can think of it as a principle of resonance, like tuning a radio. What you focus on, you amplify. If our attention is constantly on fear, chaos, and scarcity, we will literally magnetize and experience more of that reality. But conversely, by consciously choosing to focus on qualities like love, compassion, creativity, and connection, we align ourselves with a completely different set of experiences and possibilities.
The key message, the most important takeaway here, is that our power in this huge potential shift lies in our choice of focus. Every single moment gives us an opportunity to disengage from the story of fear and to consciously choose and cultivate a different inner state. And the idea is that as more and more of us make this internal shift, it creates a collective momentum. It's like a tsunami of love, building the very foundation for a new, more harmonious reality on Earth.
Ultimately, the takeaway from this entire astrological forecast is this: the great shift of 2026 isn't something that's just happening to us. It's an immense wave of potential that is happening through us. The cosmic alignments you see, they're opening a door, but it's up to us individually and as a collective to choose to walk through it. Your inner state, what you focus on, the choice you make in every single moment, that is your contribution to our collective future. The cosmos is offering a blueprint, but we are the co-creators.